Being a boss isn't just about building great businesses, but it's about securing your legacy for generations to come. So today, we are meeting up with our good friends KANDI and Todd and an estate planning expert to give us tips on how to secure the wealth. Y'all ready? Let's make these boss moves.
What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Give me some love. Hey. How are you?
Hey.
I have not been in here in ages.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time.
Right.
I was just thinking when you said you were on your way, I was like, we did your baby shower in this
Oh my
building.
God, that was 8 years ago.
Well, I mean, you've been here since then.
Yeah, but it's like, Jesus, how quick the time goes
Yeah.
by.
You know,
That's
I'm
crazy.
trying to expand now.
Nice.
So where you see now, it's going to be different next year.
Right.
You know,
All of
now we have our recording studio.
accomplishments and all these
There's some old plaques. These old things.
It don't matter. They're forever.
Yeah.
Grammy Award-winning artist KANDI Burruss and her husband, TV producer Todd Tucker, are an entertainment power couple.
And this is a rehearsal room that we shoot sometimes in here.
Oh, cute. What up, Todd?
They're here to share boss tips on building an empire and how to secure a long-lasting legacy.
What has been going on? What y'all been doing? Excuse me, Miss. I own half of Atlanta.
No, you're not talking.
Oh, whatever.
We're talking about us.
Look at y'all.
Oh, we bought 30 acres and a
Whatever.
mule. We've been, quietly making
Moving,
moves.
yes.
Some quiet, some not.
Right.
We got our restaurants. We about to do some more restaurants.
Really?
We got the recording studio, and together we have the television production, you know what I mean? There are different shows that we have been producing, and of course we have other ones that we are shopping at the time.
Yeah.
You know, because you always got to have one that you're working on while the people see something, you know what I mean? Because you got to keep it going. So we got other projects that we're working on, and then still got bedroom candy, tags, and all these other things. They're still trying to do what they need to do, and sometimes you can just feel like you all over the place.
Tell me about it. I know.
And real estate.
Yes.
I want y'all to take a look. 'Cause I want y'all to see Todd's home designs once I get it done.
We get older, it's kind of like that running around and checking your traps. Yo, is this spot doing good? Okay, is this restaurant doing good? Yeah, that's cool. But, next 10 years, I'm focusing on slowing it down.
I'm trying to slow it down in the next 3.
Right. Yeah.
That's our plan. Yeah.
3?
Yo,
So at 3, y'all gonna be
3.
done?
No, I wouldn't say done.
Not
I know y'all got houses in Bahamas
No.
and stuff. You know.
That's where I want to
mean,
be
like-
at.
I mean, like what Todd just said, I want to be able to have things that continue to be able to pay the bills, but not have to do as much
Run
as
the
we're
rat
doing
race
now,
like
because
it is all the time.
it's like time is just going so just like this, and I don't see myself keeping the pace up that long. Another 10? No, I want to make sure we begin to enjoy it.
Okay, so with all that being said, so y'all remember that conversation we had in the Bahamas, which was how we have all these things going on, and if something was to just happen, we have our children, we have our family. Have we educated ourselves enough and put everything that we need in place so that we can relinquish it over to somebody who can then hopefully keep everything going? You know what I'm saying?
I've been going back and forth about that conversation for a good 8 months now.
I asked an attorney, her name is Stephanie, I asked her to come by to talk to us about trust, wills, just kind of motivate us to start going in the right direction.
Attorney Stephanie Graham has more than 20 years of practicing law under her belt. She's been recognized for her work in estate planning and also a probate court administrator. She's here to share valuable insight on the estate planning process.
Got lots of questions. Lots of them. We all know that as African Americans, a lot of us we don't have like generations of wealth in our families.
Handed down to us.
Yeah, it's not really handed down. So with that being said, a lot of us haven't been told what to do.
The reason we don't have the wealth is because we're not planning. And I've actually had clients tell me that estate planning is for rich white people. Yes, just last week, one husband would not participate with his wife who got a trust, and he said that's for rich white people. So yes, they're not educated about how it works regarding the husband and wife role, regarding children. It's not as simple as people think it is. And there is property, especially all over Atlanta, where there are several generations of grandparents and parents who have passed away and paying taxes, and no one has ever probated the estate. And people don't realize if you don't have an estate plan, the only way to transfer property into your name is to go through probate. Because a lot of people assume because they're paying the taxes and the bills and et cetera, that they own it.
What's the difference between a trust and a will?
The difference between a will and a trust is, what I like to say is, everybody should have a will, but not everyone needs a trust. A will is going to go through probate court, and even if you don't have a will, you have to go through probate court because there's no will. Once you file your will, everything is public record. And I don't mean that it's on public display. It means I can walk in and look up KANDI's estate when it's filed and find out all the information I want. It's not private from anyone. And the other thing with the will is that all of your natural beneficiaries must sign off on the will, even if you are disinheriting them. They have a legal right. Yes.
Oh, wow.
What?
So that, yes.
Oh, see, now, I didn't know that. I got to sign off on it.
Yes, because they have a right to contest whatever you did or didn't do. A trust is a supplement to the will, and with a trust is basically a legal contract between you and your trustee, and this legal contract is not filed in court at all. So your trust is completely private. Your financial advisor might want a copy of it, and sometimes the bank, but it's never filed in court unless someone sues you. And in your trust, you are indicating your trustee, your beneficiaries, your successor trustee, and anything you want to happen regarding your assets. You can set up scholarships with the trust. You can have someone continue to run your business with the trust. You can donate money for generations, and set up perpetual trusts to support family members for generations and generations, but you can't do that in a will. Okay. The way I explain it to clients is, you are giving your assets from yourself as an individual to yourself as an entity. Okay. You're the trustee of your trust. You're transferring everything to your trust, and it would have your name as a joint owner, so to speak.
Now that makes sense, because people was telling me about it, and I'm like, so you mean to tell me I got to take everything and put it in a trust, and then I got to go find somebody that I don't trust to run my
the trust?
Right, that's what
we don't trust that.
And so no, that's not accurate. So you are essentially your own trustee. However, your successor, the person who's going to take over when you transition,
right,
and your spouse transitions, of course, is going to be someone that you trust. And it's the same thing with your last will and testament, your executor. And I try to explain to people, be very careful as to how you choose those parties, because as a former prosecutor, I like to explain is, if you're stopped by the police and you need to pay bail money, and the only way you can get it is to have someone go to the ATM with your PIN number. If you would not trust that person with your PIN number, please do not name that person as your trustee.
Right.
Yes.
Really? Why?
They have control of your assets. So even though you have a contract, this trust that tells them exactly what to do, the only thing that really controls them from not using it inappropriately is your beneficiaries. So fiduciaries,
so they can do whatever they want to do?
They can, but that's why you want to choose someone who you trust.
I thought they had to do what was on the paper.
They have to, because it is a fiduciary duty. So your beneficiaries can sue them in superior court for a breach of fiduciary duty. They can be, they can't be arrested, but they can be made to pay things back. They can be made to turn things over. They can lose their fees. That's very rare, especially when you have a trust. With the will, it's kind of different, and I think it's mostly because people don't really understand their roles. I have had several people who are named as executors. No one told them what an executor does.
Okay, what does an executor do?
Good question. So what an executor does is basically they are the manager of your estate. They are not necessarily a beneficiary, but they can be a beneficiary. So the executor, their job is to file the will, first of all. They have to be formally appointed by the court with an appointment that's called letters of testamentary, and all of your beneficiaries and your lineal heirs must sign off. You're proving that it's been served to them, that they're aware about it. And if they don't like it, they can come forward and say, hey, I don't like it.
Okay, this is a lot. I'm sitting here like trying to keep up. But for people with businesses and children and family, what do you suggest would be the smarter route to go to secure things, you know?
Well, I suggest that you start out with your CPA and your financial advisor. I like to say that I'm technically on the bottom of the totem pole of this pyramid structure that you have to get your secure your legacy, but your advisor is going to give you an idea of what you have now, what you're going to have in the future, and he or she should be instructing you about putting your assets into a will and trust. So your team should be your insurance provider, your financial advisor, and your CPA, and then your estate planning attorney who rounds it out.
Your attorney, financial advisor, the same person.
Oh no, ma'am. Your
true.
CPA is saving you taxes. Your financial advisor is making you more money.
Things change. How do you keep it up to date?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you have a substantial change, you should reach out to a lawyer. A substantial change is going to be a divorce, additional children, or maybe your current executor, trustee, beneficiary, somebody passed away. Those are going to be substantial changes. And then even as you continue to acquire assets.
So how often do you need to update?
I think, based on my experience, updating every 3 to 5 years, or at least evaluating it every 3 to 5 years.
So I know this was a lot to grasp onto, guys, but there's 4 things I want to make sure you do not forget. And the first thing is, first of all, do your research, okay? The second thing is, you got to get organized, put everything together. The third thing is, secure your estate planning team. And lastly, I have to say, you got to do the maintenance. Make sure you keep everything up to date. When things change, make sure you change it on paper. Don't forget, there's a lot more of this episode of Boss Moves over on Philo.